Most realtors spend most of their time looking for new clients. I like to spend all of my time, my team likes to spend all of our time just taking care of our clients. And 86% of our business is referral repeat. So who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling a house? The difference between earning 5 or 10 referrals a year and earning hundreds of referrals a year is just being really consistent and telling our clients, here's exactly how we do it, and then delivering exactly that.
$1 billion. Friends, it's not Dr. Evil, it's Jason Abrams coming to you on the People's Podcast. Here's the deal, gang. We have someone today, an incredible businesswoman from Boise. They have done over $1 billion in sales collectively, and she is going to tell us exactly how to do at least 100 deals a year by referral only. I am speaking about Christina Ward. She's an absolute force of nature, a collegiate athlete to a top real estate agent with a heart of gold. Sit back and buckle up. This is Christina Ward. And today I am joined by a dear friend, Christina Ward. Christina, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm blushing a little. It's so fun to be doing this with you. I was so excited about this.
Me too.
Known you forever, and the success that you've had is so inspiring to me. I mean, over $1 billion sold, over 2,000 homes. I mean, it's nothing short of spectacular. And we're going to unpack it in detail. But before we do, I ask everyone the same question. How did you end up in the greatest industry in the world?
I babysat for realtors. I was the babysitter.
What does that even mean?
I mean, they're kids, but in college, I babysat for a family of realtors and their kids. And I became their assistant out of college. That's how I got into real estate.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. So you're the babysitter. What is it that you saw happening? What was it about them and their lifestyle that you were like, I want to do that?
I didn't want to do that at first, but I did have a lot of respect for the Mortgat family. They were both athletes, like tennis players, professional tennis players, college tennis players, and I was a volleyball player at Boise State at the time when I was their babysitter. And I just always loved their integrity, their work ethic, their kids were amazing. And so I never wanted to be a realtor, but I had a lot of respect for the family. I loved them and they loved me.
So you graduate college. What's the degree that you got in?
Health promotion. So like public health education.
Your parents must have loved this. Gang, I'm qualified to go do so many things. Instead, I'm going to go sell real estate. What did your parents say when you told them?
I have the best parents ever. They just, support me and cheer me on. And so they were always just happy with whatever I was doing. And I mean, it was interesting to go to college for one degree with one plan. And then the plans didn't work out. Like even to get to college, a lot of plans didn't work out, right? Like a lot of doors closed, a lot of doors opened. I mean, I played a lot of volleyball growing up, and that's what landed me in Boise State, to be an athlete and have a full-ride scholarship. And my plan was to go right back to San Diego and do my health promotion, health education thing. And I tried out to be a transaction coordinator first for this family.
Wow. So
that's how I started.
Let me just make sure that I'm taking inventory here. You grew up in San Diego. Playing volleyball, beach volleyball. I'm sure you played plenty.
I'm so old that it was a lot of indoor, but but there was beach volleyball was happening. Like I played against Misty May and Carrie Walsh. Like I like to say, like that's how they're all retired, so that's how.
Yeah.
And so we would all start to play beach volleyball to get better at indoor, but there was no beach college programs at the time.
Did you have aspirations of playing past college, or did you know this was a great ride to get through school and what a blessing?
I decided in 8th grade I wanted to be a college athlete, and that's what I did.
So you go from San Diego to Boise. Is there any culture shock? I mean, I can't think of more different places.
Yeah. I mean, it's the nicest city in the world. So and actually San Diego is the nicest city in California, and Boise is the nicest city in the world. And so the shock of the people, it was amazing, and I loved it. I did have to buy some winter gear, and I always say, there's no bad weather. There's just bad clothing. So I learned how to dress differently in Boise, and it was great. It was a great experience
Well, when you live in California, you're smart enough to go to the snow.
Yeah.
You live in Boise, the snow's coming to you whether you like it or not.
Yeah, just in moderation, though. We're good. We have 4 seasons.
Okay, so you get the license. Do you have success right off the bat?
No, I mean, I did all of the Mortgat family's deals. So I thought as a 22-year-old that I was doing all the work and they were making all the money. So they paid me a little bit of money. I could barely survive. And my ego got in the way as a young 20-something that I should just be doing what they do. I only lasted like a year or two. Jennifer Mortgat always says that I was not an admin, like if she had disc profiled me or, like I'm not really an admin profile. But I decided I just wanted to do what they did and make the money that they made. And the hardest part about it was the lead generation part. I didn't realize, because I would do everything else. They would hand me the file. I would take it to closing. And I thought that was real estate. And then I didn't realize how many years it would take just to find someone that would want to buy or sell a house.
Oh my gosh, it happens all the time because you look up and your administrative support, if they don't know, like you didn't says, this is the easiest thing in the world. Y'all are untold riches. Yeah. I'm going to go do it. And then you get in and you're like, now all I need is a client. Where do I find them? So do you start lead generating?
Yeah, my lead generation was accidental because I was at a boutique brokerage. I didn't know that word. Hadn't come to Keller Williams yet. So it was like I would run into someone on the street and they would say, you're a realtor, I need your help. Or I'd go to a party, I'd kind of work the party. I'd find my buyers and sellers. I'd work harder than anyone else and I'd take care of them. And I'd close like 7 to 15 deals a year for a while. And then the recession happened and then it got even less than that.
Okay. So then something must have happened that ends up changing the way you either A, thought about the business or B, thought about your life. What happens?
Best thing ever happened to me was the struggle of the Great Recession. It was the 6 months of no income at all, like no sales for 6 months. And then Keller Williams was recruiting me at the time. And so I said, fine, I'll go to Keller Williams. I'll go to this bold class. I'll do all the things they've been telling me to do. But at the same time, I'll write a resume because we went into our first month of debt. Lane was working in land development, my husband, on a salary. His salary got cut in the recession for the same reasons all of our incomes went down. And we couldn't make ends meet. So I knew I needed to go get a job in health education, health promotion, like my degree. Oh. So I started writing my resume as I was taking bold and trying this Keller Williams thing to see if something better could happen.
And what was your big aha from going through bold?
People showed up at Keller Williams dressed to win and with the mindset to win. And then I showed up as an athlete with a coach for the first time telling me to do stuff. And I did it to a T, the affirmations, the journaling, the lead generation. And by that June, sold 7 houses in 1 month. So no closings for 6 months and then bold.
You know what? I've heard that story so many times. Gary and I actually rewrote Bold with a group of other people, Cody Gibson and Jeannie Osnes and Robert Bell, and a whole group of humans. And people are still having that exact same experience.
I love that.
I love that. I find that so rewarding. All right, gang, it's the People's Podcast, and what the people want, the people get, and they want models and systems. So we're about to break into it. Christina is going to lay out for us exactly how to get at least 100 deals a year by referral only. So you don't have to take the notes. I'm taking the notes. I actually am going to take notes. If you're bombing down the highway in the Tesla at 130 or something, don't try to write it. Don't do the realtor thing and do it with your knees. I'm doing it. So if you don't get them, go to MREAnotes.com. That's MREAnotes.com. They come out every Thursday. Enter your email. Christina, tell me exactly how to get 100 deals a year, at least, by referral.
Okay, so I told you I was doing it accidentally by referral for the 7 to 15 deals, and so I just created it to be more purposeful. It starts with relationships. The more people that know me and the more people I know, the more deals that I do. So relationships are key. My whole business has been built off of the boards that I've served on, the groups that I've run marathons with, the people I played volleyball with, the people my kids go to school with. So the first step is relationships.
So stay with me in relationships for a minute, because there's 2 types of people listening to the program. The kind that say, oh my gosh, I want to go meet everyone. And the other group that says, oh my gosh, that sounds like the 7th circle of hell. So, and by the way, all of us feel both of those ways on different days. So walk me through, how do you purposefully add people to the database and purposefully seek out these relationships?
I just think of myself as being the best realtor for almost anyone. And I'm never going to let someone feel like they're they're wrong to not work with me. So I'm very abundant in that way. But I look at someone, I'm like, I probably can help them or my team can help them. And so I want to get them into my world so I don't forget about them. And at this point, with thousands of past clients, it needs to be purposeful. It can't be, just in my mind. It's with a CRM and a 52 touch marketing plan. So when I meet them, I ask like, who is keeping you up to date on the local real estate market? And they usually say no one. Can I please email you and communicate with you and invite you to our events? Or they're interested in our home makeover. And so I get them on my list because they want market updates or they want to come to our events.
It's such a simple question. Are you always surprised that they're like nobody? Like,
yeah.
Does that
like, duh. Or they say, I get some like canned email, this national blah, blah, blah. And I say local real estate market. So that would even be at an open house that works in the grocery store. I went to 3 places today for errands. I ran into 3 people I knew and I had real estate conversations with 2 of them because they wanted to. So I'm not going to be the annoying real estate person that shows up to the party and no one wants to talk to them. I want to be the person that really adds value.
And then, so now that if they say, yeah, keep me in touch, let me know what's going on in the market. Which piece of technology are you using to email that stuff out?
MailChimp.
Perfect. And so you're actually creating an update purposefully and sending that out to the community. How often do you send that out?
For a long time, it was once a month, and it's a market update, a community coupon, a family update, and then the homes that we're selling. I call that evidence of success. So we're
Okay, hang on. Market update, I got. What's a community coupon?
When any of our contractors, vendors that want to offer a discount of something that they do to our database. And so I love to grow my contractors' businesses. And all of my contractors work with me. I'm my contractor's realtor. Like I'm the stager's realtor. I'm the heating and cooling. They work with all the realtors, but we are constantly wanting to add value and grow their business and help.
Love that. Okay, market update, community coupon, family update. What's that mean?
That just is a human side. People work with who they like and trust and who they relate to. So my husband writes a family update. He's a great writer. He's funny. And he sends a picture to my team and says, here's what we did this month. So just really personal.
I love that. And what was the 4th one?
The evidence of success, all the homes that we're selling. So I'm not the loudest realtor. So I'm not like, oh, we're the best. We sell lots of real estate. They'll just see it in the email. And actually this year we took that 4-part email and now it's once a week because we realized that the 12 a year isn't probably enough with Jimmy John's emailing us every day, Amazon emailing us every day. So we have print and other things we send to people, but we changed those 4 sections to 4 a month now. So,
by the way, Jimmy John's, keep doing it. Love the turkey, Tom. Love our friends at Jimmy John's. Okay, so you're breaking this out and now sending once a week one of these 4 pieces. So over the course of the month, I'm getting them all. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Perfect. What else are you doing?
For the 52 touch, or are we going from relationships to the next step?
If the 52 touch is in relationships, let's stay with it. If not, we'll get to it when we get to it. But I think it is because that's how you stay in relationships.
Yeah, they can't. How do they forget about us when we're right in front of their face, adding value every day? So the next part is events. So we do 4 events a year. The first event is the home makeover. We make over a family's house that's had a hard year. We pretty much do what we do to get a listing ready for sale. In 24 hours, we've spruced up someone's house. Our contractors donate all their time. Our clients come and paint and landscape with us, and we make someone's day.
Get out. So this is paint, this is landscape, this is
Cleaning.
handy person stuff, cleaning. So it's light home makeover. How do you go about finding the people to do that for their house?
It's part of our touch system. So we email our database in January and say, we're looking for the family to help. And we get nominations. We usually get about 10. And then the team decides who we will be helping.
I think this is genius. Now, you said something fascinating. You said our database can come and help with that, which is similar to like a Homes by Humanity sort of a thing.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Oh, gosh. We just ask people. We email the database. It's part of the touches, and then they sign up they say, I want to paint. I want to landscape. I want to give money. I have a contractor service that I want to donate. So people we get too many volunteers, actually. It's amazing the amount of people that want to do it and the amount of people that say it changes their life.
Home makeover event, genius. What else you do?
Summer barbecue. And so that's our the home makeover is free. It's fully donated. Summer barbecue is pretty low price, but this year we did it at a winery. We actually had a media company that filmed the home makeover, and we did a premiere of the video for our summer barbecue, but we changed it to the winery. So summer party now.
I love that. And the people from the database, they pay to come to that?
No, my lender pays for some stuff. We pay for some stuff. We get donations, but it was $3,000.
Okay, perfect. All right, home makeover, summer barbecue. What's the third one?
Masquerade Ball. So that's our most expensive event. So that's an open bar, but we do for just liability reasons. We have 2 drink tickets and a DJ and black tie and masks required.
How fun is that?
And that's VIP that goes out to our top clients first, our referral partners, and then 100 people. So that also controls the cost as we keep it to 100 people. And then I really feel like I can connect with the whole room.
And you do that at like a hotel or a banquet hall? Where do you do it usually?
Yeah, we've done it at a club before, or in a like a side room to a restaurant, like a room that would, like a nice room that would fit 100 people. So it's really intimate, and it's great. And it's really
fun to get all dressed up.
Yeah. And it's Halloween time is the Masquerade Ball.
Okay. And what's number 4?
The pies. So the pie, it's a reverse pot buy for, we call it pies for life. #pies for life. You buy a house, sell a house, you get a pie. So we do that at the restaurant that makes the pies. Actually, our client is the pastry chef. And we do about 150 pies a year, and clients come pick them up right before Thanksgiving.
It's fantastic. Okay, so that takes care of, well, there's multiple touches for these events. There's the invites, there's the event, then there's the FOMO photos.
Right. And it's all about the communication around the event. It's not really who shows up, although I am an includer and I like people, and so I like people to show up. But it is about the touches around the event, and then the recap of the email with the pictures, and to make someone want to come next year, hopefully, if they missed it.
Love it. Okay, what else that matters a ton is in the 52 touches?
Phone calls. I mean, that's how I built the business, was when I was starving and selling nothing and doing the bold. I did the four contacts a year. I'd say I don't do the 4 contacts a year anymore. There's too many. And so I've shrunk the list to the VIP group, and it's a lot of follow-up. So I still lead generate every morning. I'm still really kind of boring with putting on my headset and making my phone calls, but it's a lot of follow-up, and it's a lot of calling the VIPs.
Friends, if you're going to make calls, do it in a TCPA-friendly and compliant way. So, Christina, let me ask you, because there's nothing scripted about you. I've known you long enough to know. When you're calling these people, this is the care call, the check-in, like you talk to a friend, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things that I say, if you want to call it like a conversation framework, is if they're not a client yet, I'd say like, hey, if you were to buy or sell a house, I'm just curious, who would you work with? And sometimes they say me, and I say, thank you. I'm so honored. I'm happy to help. And sometimes they say somebody else. I say, they're a really nice person. Can I be your number 2? Like, if you ever need a second, if you ever need a different personality, would you consider being your number 2? And that's often sometimes what I'm asking to keep in touch with someone. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone from number 2 to number 1, like insane. And it's so not like, oh, you're like, hey, be on my list. It's just like, they're awesome. I want to add value to you. Let me be number 2 if you'll have me.
Brilliant. All right. Relationships is number 1. What's number 2?
Okay. Value. So all of us earn referrals. How do we earn more referrals? We do more than they could ever imagine, ever expect. So negotiation is communication. It's relationships. It's confidence. Like, negotiation is so important, I think, to earn the repeat business. We just closed our 17th deal with the same family, and I know it's because we negotiated better than they keep coming back.
So what are the keys? If negotiation is a strong differentiator of value, what are some of Christina's keys to being a great negotiator?
Being a listener. So listening to the agent, listening to my clients, not making them wrong, and then leading them to in a really friendly but firm way, like, here's where we're going, but listening first and building trust first. Picking up the phone. I can't believe the number of people that won't. And
Oh my gosh. It's like an epidemic. Isn't it
is.
unbelievable?
It's crazy. So just a lot of talking, a lot of group conversations, a lot of data. I love leading with data, and really like even that when I'm negotiating with an agent, it's doing their job too. So, and I don't tell them I'm going to do their job. That would be really disrespectful, but I just say, hey, I'm going to send you an email. I'm always thinking about the email that could be forwarded to the other side. And where can I give them data or give them resources so we can keep the deal together or put a deal together? So written communication. And I use AI. It sounds like a lot of work, but I use AI like because I'm in a hurry and I'm going to have grammar errors. But I throw in all my information from my brain and I get some really good emails together that I know will be forwarded.
You know what? We have a guest. If you haven't listened to the Greg Shaw interview, go listen to him on this program because he makes the argument, Christina. He says, look, there's two groups of people. One that wakes up every day thinking that AI is cheating on the school test. And the other group that says, I'm going to leverage AI to be the best professional I can be. And he imagines a world where every real estate agent walks into every consult and has a document that says, I'm AI powered. These are the tools and tasks that AI is going to do. Here are the things that I'm going to do, and you get the best of both worlds. Yeah. He went so far to say that the agents that don't do that are going to start winning less. I think he's brilliant because by the way, AI, I think is literally going to change the world.
Yeah.
And it's insane not to be using it. And I love that you are.
Yeah. I'm feeding it with really good information. So it's me and it's making it even better. And sometimes I'll even say like, help me with the tone, with my tone or with Chris Voss's Never Split the Difference. If it's, so I'm having a conversation on the phone to negotiate and I'm following up with an email because maybe I only talked to one person and there's multiple parties involved. So it's just over communicate, over listen. And I know I keep deals together and put more deals together because of communication negotiation. The other part of value is to make their life easier. So how can we always take things off of our client's plate? They're under it's the third most stressful thing that a person can do.
What's the first one? Getting married.
Death.
Similar.
Then divorce.
Okay.
Then buying and selling real estate. I guess maybe getting married is fourth. I don't know. I only know the top three according to psychologists. So I'm going to make my client's life easier. I'm going to do things for them. And that could look like the coordination of the listing, bringing our contractors in, creating the timeline. I call them I insist moments. So I don't just like say, oh, go call this lender, go call this person. I put them together in a group text, or I have my contractor call my client, or even schedule the appointment. So like anything that we can do or that my team can do to do it for them and to take things off their plate. And I don't ask. I just tell them we're going to do it. If they really have a problem with it, they'll tell me, no, thank you.
This is all making sense to me because I can tell you, friends, once Christina adopts you, your life just starts getting easier.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I know it. I'm the recipient of this. I understand completely. All right. So I got my relationships. I got my value. What's next?
Standards. So we always get better. Always. And that's the athlete in me. It's the people who are on my team. We're always looking for feedback and to get better. Always learning, always improving. It's taking ownership in everything that we do. That is so annoying to blame other people. Like we're the quarterback of the real estate transaction, so we just take ownership. And it doesn't mean we're wrong or we're bad or we should be ashamed. It's just like facing it head on. We hire people with high standards. I currently work with people, they're born that way with really high standards. Some of my CUS team members, I can say a lot of them have all had really high standards. And the way that we do that when we grow, when we have too many deals, because I want to do things like really well for everyone, is we create our standards into systems. And so I call it like systems in a box, and then put my heart and my brain around that box so I can do everything really well and follow through. Because that goes back to the referrals, that people refer me because they know exactly what they're going to get. They get a consistent, systematized experience they can tell is going to happen exactly the same way for their friend or family member that they're going to refer to me. We miss out on referrals because they don't trust that we will deliver exactly what we're supposed to do, and then they feel embarrassed, so they just don't refer. It's the difference between earning 5 or 10 referrals a year and earning hundreds of referrals a year is just being really consistent. and telling our clients, here's exactly how we do it, and then delivering exactly that. And so standards and systems is kind of in that section.
It's interesting because throughout this whole diatribe on getting referrals, I haven't heard you say, and here's how we ask everyone for referrals, which might be a piece of it, but
I have a way to ask people for that.
Here's what I knew we were going to get there, but here's what I find fascinating. Knowing you wouldn't be comfortable asking unless you knew you could provide this consistent outcome.
Yeah. I want to give, and that goes into the generosity side of our business we haven't talked about. I want to give so much that someone could never feel like they could repay me. I wanted I want to just give them my time and my heart and my whole being. And then I've just gotten so much more than I could have ever imagined.
It's incredible. It's like living an Imagine Dragons song. Great. Okay, so that I got standards. What's number 4? I'm telling you, go listen to some lyrics tonight. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, that is what I was describing. What's number 4?
Well, I think it's follow-up.
What does that even mean?
That's the biggest opportunity in real estate is all these leads like flying in the air, and then or people that need our help and they don't need our help right now. So it's the 52 touch break comes into the follow-up, but then also the phone calls. And I'm meeting with someone tonight after this that I've been talking to for 10 years. And they called me when they needed me. I didn't call them with a follow-up like, hey, you ready? But I've been calling them and adding value to them for 10 years. And then it just looks like it falls out of the sky. So
that's the thing. You're like an overnight success that takes decades to make.
My favorite question to ask people is, how long did it take you to become an overnight success?
So good. All right. What's number 5?
That's it. I don't know. What could you think of?
Well, one of these has to be
do a good job and you follow up.
No. At some point, there has to be the ask.
Okay.
It's either all happening by osmosis and you're so darn likable that people just run up and they're like, I want to help you. And I get that giving incredible service is the precursor to that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the model and system, though, where you're asking for referrals?
Well, it started back in the day with the bold conversation when I did the bold, the script. And I think that's a really great script, especially for my database because they're competitive. So when I say I'm in a competition, they're like, oh, heck yeah, let's win.
Oh, all right. For those that don't know what that talk track is, what does it sound like?
Let me think. Okay, so I'm in a great class, and I could use your help. And I'm looking for 10 referrals by the end of the month in order to win. So I'm wondering, who do you know who's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can call today?
Okay. Now, I've said that. I've taken bold plenty of times. And the first time you say it, you're like, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel right. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to think I'm solicitous and cheesy and all the things. And then you're 7 weeks later in that course and you have 7 pending listings or something like this. And you're like, oh my gosh, no one was offended. That was all irrational fears that I had.
Mm-hmm. I had someone, remember the Mortgap family, my mentors? One of my clients knew her somehow. And I was calling her a lot back in the day because I didn't have as many clients. So I was calling all of them a lot. And asking that question, and she told Jennifer, she's like, she just sold me a $75,000 house, and she's calling me still and helping me, and it's amazing. So people thought of it as value, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm calling them to ask for business, and it was perceived as value, which is always my goal. How do
you do it today?
What's that? Most realtors spend most of their time looking for new clients. I like to spend all of my time, my team likes to spend all of our time just taking care of our clients. And 86% of our business is referral repeat. So who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling a house? I love to just help your friends. I like you.
I like you. There's nothing scary about saying any of that.
It's easy. It's true. It's like, I don't want to spend all my time advertising or doing something on Google or I don't know. I just would rather really work with my friends. And we also do the promise. So, we let people know upfront that we haven't earned any business from them and we don't earn it until we do a great job. And so at the end, we'll know we have done a great job. In the beginning of the relationship, we're talking about this. If we've received a 5-star review and a referral by the end of it. So our promise is super laid back and it's like 2 sentences long, but we state that intention and then we ask for referrals and reviews at the end.
Got it. Love it. Okay. Let me ask you this. Boise, and that's how you say it, friends.
Boise, I've taught you that.
Boise, yeah. Boise went up in value like like insanity.
Mhm.
Like you all have had like one of the most incredible runs in the whole country.
Yeah.
And everything finds an equilibrium at some point, and markets tend to shift. When you're going out on appointments now that the market is changing, the conversation around pricing has to be a sensitive one because everyone that owns a home thinks that it's worth $11 million. How do you have these conversations in a way where you know they're anchored to a number and that number may have changed?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're still in a seller's market. We have 2.7 months inventory, but I've always led, being that I'm an outgoing personality, I have a dominant personality too, but outgoing leads my personality. I want to lead with some data and details so I can earn people's trust. Because most likely if there's two clients, two spouses, there's someone that's pretty highly detail oriented of the two statistically. So I'm always leading with, no matter what our market's at, I'm leading with data in that conversation. So what I've let people know right now with pricing is we are in a seller's market in your range. Like I show them right with the stats, like here's your price range and here's the seller's market. This number is increasing and the rest of the nation is in a buyer's, or more than half of the rest of the nation's in a buyer's market. So this number likely will continue to increase. So here's what's for sale. When we're looking at a market analysis, I'm not doing price per square foot or some system that put together pricing. I'm just looking at 3 actives, 3 pendings, and 3 solds. And so here's the sold data. What do you think is the price here? And I ask them, I don't make the price for them. And they're usually where I'm at, or I lead them in that conversation. And then here's how we line up against the competition. And we are seeing in this market right now that the sold data doesn't match the competition. So we actually have to be a little bit lower sometimes. And it's being really careful around that. And then the other thing that we do with pricing is we pick a price so we're on the same page in the appointment, and then we really, really pick the price the week before the listing. So that's another system, that a standard that we've put into our business, and it's called the game plan meeting. And so we meet right before we list and we go over a more detailed market analysis, and mostly how do we line up against who we're competing against. And if one buyer comes into this market, your little area, how do they pick our house for sure and nobody else?
I get it. And that's because the market is changing. And so you might set a price and something might come on and change the dynamic.
Yeah.
So you want to get together one last time and make a final decision.
Yes. And it's a serious conversation. And everything is put off to the game plan meeting. So we talk about showings, expectations. Then I'm going to call them on Monday if nothing happens that weekend, because I've had so many clients. And this goes back to the referrals. If one thing goes wrong in the real estate transaction, we might have lost them forever. I mean, I think I can usually fix it with great communication. But if they're expecting a call from me every day because I didn't talk about that with them, then they're going to be upset if I wait till Monday to call them on their first weekend on the market. So in that game plan meeting, we talk about how we're going to be working really hard for them that weekend, and they may not hear from us unless we get an offer. And then we have a phone call with them on Monday. So it's very systematic in like expectations. When we have a conversation, when are they going to hear from us next? So we're always meeting, exceeding their expectations versus them making it their own. And then they're disappointed in us because we just didn't communicate that well.
I love it. Well, all right. Final question for me. You are living a wildly big business life. You also live a wildly big personal life. Talk to me about work-life balance, which there's one group of people that hate that term. There's another group that say, wait a minute, I actually like that. This is something you're passionate about. So walk me through how you think about it and speak directly to the person right now driving the Range Rover with 3 kids on their way to a listing appointment, trying to text while they drive. Talk directly to that person for me.
That's actually my most, when I begin to start decreasing my personal real estate business, and a lot, my team takes care of everyone. Like where I envision myself coaching the 50-unit producer mom, with maybe an assistant, but that's almost dying inside. Like that's like, if I'm going to sit around getting sad, I'm going to think about the women in real estate that work so hard, that do everything for everyone,
Yes.
Because when I did 50 units a year, that was the most busiest I was ever have been. 50 units that's
a lot.
Amazing. When those individual agents in yours and Gary's group, those are the rock stars. Those are the best realtors and the hardest workers, in my opinion.
By the way, with some of the higher profit margins.
Yes.
But there's always a sacrifice. So what do you say to that?
Yeah. So one of the most inexpensive, most awesome things to do as a busy parent or busy person is to leverage at home, in my opinion, because a home leverage is so inexpensive and it's not a long-term relationship like a house cleaner or someone that delivers food or someone that picks up your dry cleaning. Like those are all just kind of, onesie twosie hires and I don't want to fire them because they probably depend on my business, but they'll go get new business. They're not like a W-2 employee. So I love hiring people at home so that I can come home with the limited time I have with Spencer and Emma and Lane, my husband, and be really present because I like everything to be done well. So I like my house to be done nicely. And if I come home to a really chaotic house, I'm going to be chaotic in my mind and have probably a lot of anxiety and then not be a really good mom.
I read an interesting study the other day on this, and it said that a lot of people, this study was specific around women, that there is a feeling of guilt for hiring out some of these things on the home front, even for entrepreneurs. And I'm wondering if you could talk to me about that.
I think there's some guilt feeling. I think there's also some high standards that people aren't willing to, they're like, nobody can clean my house as well as me. I hear that from a lot of people. And I'm like, who cares? Someone's cleaning your house. Like you can clean it after them. But I actually have someone, and I got permission from one of my friends. I'm in this group of top producing agents that we're just friends. And we also are very generous and we teach each other a lot of things. And one of the gals in that group has someone every day come to her house to clean it. And it blew when she said it. I was like, every day. Oh my God. And then it gave me permission that I could have that too. So
I only know, so Cody Gibson, if you haven't listened to his episode of this show, go listen. He has someone come and changes his sheets, clean sheets every single night.
Oh, wow.
And that sounds like so decadent to me. But I think about how great clean sheets are. He gets that daily.
Chris makes my bed every day and she does our laundry and she makes us meals and she's my wife and she's amazing. And I pay her $27 an hour and she comes 2 hours a day. And so that's like just over $1,000 a month. And I would go back to eating rice and beans like we did in the Great Recession, keep Chris. And I wish that especially the top producing women in this industry, I wish more of them would do it. I've sent the job description to a lot of people. I think a lot of people have hired a house manager because of me. And I'm really proud of that because it is, Emma just turned 8 and I'm like, how did that happen?
It goes so fast. Friends, we're going to actually link in the MREA notes to the job description for the house manager that Christina is talking about. We are on a mission to bring balance to everyone's life, wealth and prosperity, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living. Christina, thank you for your heart. Thank you for everything you're doing for the real estate industry. But most important, on behalf of all of Boise, thank you for every homeowner you've helped, and more importantly, everyone you will help. We are all grateful.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you for everything you do. I love this podcast. So thank you.
There it is, friends. Christina endorsed the People's Podcast. Thanks for being here. I get it. I mean, I get it. I'll be honest, I didn't get it at the beginning. The idea of 100 deals a year by referral only, it sounds like a dream to me. So how do you make that happen? Here's what it is. It turns out it's all about relationships. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Jason, shocker. We know that referrals come from relationships. Yeah, I get it that you know it, but do you have a plan? Do you have a play? Do you run a play to win the day like she does? Or do you just think it would be nice to have? I mean, the way she even talks about her events, 4 events a year, the home makeover, the summer barbecue, the black tie masquerade ball, pies for life. She isn't guessing. She knows exactly what she's doing. And I would argue that it comes from her background. If you're going to rise to the level of playing collegiate sports, you're going to have to understand working on a team. You're going to have to be wildly competitive, and you're going to have to understand running a play. There is very little that I believe is left to chance in Christina's business. She has a model and a system because she believes that in the end, only 2 things have to happen. Number 1, everyone has to understand exactly what they're going to get. And number 2, they have to get it consistently. You see, you can't have a business by referral unless those 2 things are true. What do we call that, friends? That's the brand promise. The truth is, Christina Ward is the brand. The promise that she makes are all the things that she just laid into her bucket of value. There's no one in Christina's database that wonders why they do business with her. As a matter of fact, there might not be anyone in that whole town that doesn't know who she is and what she does. She leads with her heart that's backed up by her head, and these models and systems drive tremendous success. Here's my question to you. Number one, do you know your brand? Number two, do you know your brand promise as well as she does? And number three, do you have the back-end systems to live that promise every single day? That's the challenge, friends. That's the opportunity. Go forth and do likewise.